here we are. It's part 3 of the ILFL Soccer Night Show. And before I continue speaking to the guys on my right, I need to speak to you about everything that happened in the ILFL Summer League. There's only one division, so we'll call it the Premier Division. You are Premier teams playing in the Summer League. Here are the results. Now, I'm going to tell them to you because we're having so many technical problems today. So I will do it the old-fashioned way and just read the scores to you. Yesterday, AMY played Robin Hood Tigers and beat them by 6-1. Ace came up against Hawk and Eagle, an improving Hawk and Eagle team because they beat the Ace boys by 4-2. Boundary and Italian, fantastic game. We'll hear a little bit more about that from Rash in a second. 2-2 draw it was between the two of them. You had Italian on the show last week. The Fish Islanders, I'm your biggest fan. You scored a goal, well done, but you lost 7-1 to St. Catherine's. Walthamstow Red Star, you beat Arsenal by 5-1. And I have to say that scoreline doesn't reflect how good Arsenal are getting this time. They're a good footballing side, but front and back, it's all great in the middle, but front and back.
Not only that, I don't think they had a full squad to start off with, and they have this issue of punctuality, and I think the manager knows that. So every time they have an early kick-off, they have one or two just strolling in, which is sad. But one of the best footballing teams, the way they play football on the ground, best to entertaining and best to watch, and they're one of those unpredictable teams. One day they come in and they can thrash the opposition. Next day they're finding it hard to beat teams. But the football is always there, always on the floor. One touch, two pass movement, etc. So it's brilliant to watch them. But again, one of the most unpredictable teams when it comes to results.
And Italian turning up against Boundary. We've got an improved Boundary team this season. Italian with nothing to lose have gone out, and it was probably the game of the day. On
paper, Boundary should have won this game easily. I think they probably thought a 5-6 goal easy. Italian FC was the very young side, as we mentioned last week, all 16, 17, 18 at the most. Very small, petite size-wise, etc. In the first season, get together. But yesterday, I thought they were brilliant. They were brave. They were up for it. They seemed a bit more passionate. The drive was there. They scored 2 brilliant goals, 1 volley and 1 free kick. And Boundary, I think they took advantage of the height and they scored the 2 set pieces. But I think credit to Italian FC because they gave Boundary a match. And Boundary, to be honest, this season compared to last season, looks like a completely different team. And they look like they're going to upset a few other teams. So they're a team to look out for in the coming weeks.
Hawk and Eagle, an improving side?
To be honest, you know what, I was quite disappointed.
Strange game against Ace.
Yeah, because what it is, Ace were not, we saw them last week, they were brilliant. Yesterday, they were all over the places. Actually, they looked like they were a bit lost, they weren't sure where they are. They turned up late, they came out bang at 2 o'clock, within 30 seconds on the pitch, and they looked lost on the pitch. Hawk and Eagle, yes, they won the game, but I wasn't really convinced it was a championship performance. They struggled in the last 2 weeks. Yes, they got the 3 points, but I'm not thinking they'll be, in the next couple of weeks, we'll obviously see how things develop, especially next week anyway. But I don't know, I'm not too sure how things are going to go out for it. They didn't look convincing. I think Ace was just there, left Hawk and Eagle open to come and injure them and took 4 goals. But
St. Catherine's at the top of the table.
Yes, saying that, but if you look at the fixtures, I think they haven't been tested yet. For me, I think they've the fixtures they've had is not favourable, but they were expected to win those. They were favourites to win those. So next week or next few weeks, obviously we'll find out once they come against the other contenders. I think then we'll know exactly their credential or the potential to obviously go for the championship. So I think, yes, they've got 3 wins out of 3, but I think they need to be tested against a bigger club. For me anyway.
More to come in the Summer League, and I should also remind you as well that next Sunday's fixtures on the 5th of June are the final fixtures before the Ramadan break. And speaking of the Ramadan break, tonight's show is going to be the final show before the Ramadan break as well. So just when I came back and got comfortable in the chair, I get a 4-week break, and I will see you after that, hopefully, to talk more ILFL soccer news and stats and facts from these guys up here. In our place, other things will replace. I know that NTV, the channel, will be showing a series, a host of charitable shows and phone-ins that will be live to you guys each and every Monday night. So that will start from next week. You will see more and more details. They'll be running promotions all the way through NTV channels and shows right up until the time of Ramadan itself. So stay tuned for more news as well. We've still got the guys here from Crusaders. I'm going to fast forward again. So we're just going to, 2 questions. You can expand on them as much as you like. I'm going to start with you, Bash. Second Division champions, First Division champions, hopefully to go into the Prem. Challenge Cup holders, League Cup holders, you are now the target. You're not new, you're not underdogs, you're the team that everybody wants to be. Does it change the mentality?
Nope. If I'm completely honest, I don't know teams by names. I don't know teams by players or colours or kits or anything like that. Like I said earlier, put them up, I'm going to knock them down. And we do that as a team. I may sound a bit arrogant or a bit over the top or confident, but literally we do that as a team. So if teams want to, target us, then by all means, because personally speaking, I know what I can do on the pitch, and looking around me, I know what my players can do on the pitch. And the best thing about it is that if on a day where, you've got players that can't give 100% or are unable to or not fit or anything like that, the rest of the boys put in the extra percentages to make up for that number, if not more. So in that case, it doesn't ever really bother me. I'm confident about our team, I'm confident about our players, and I'm sure next season, if you guys think that we're going to come out with the same team or weaker, then that's a bit naive. Obviously, we're going to recruit, we're going to bring players, we're going to get stronger. So in that sense, that doesn't bother me. I don't know teams by their names and how good they've been in the last 5 years. I know them as I turn up on a Sunday to play, if it's at 10:30 or 2 p.m, and whoever's in front of me, we just have to deal with that game by game.
Turk, you have a right smile. Is he speaking for you, or is there something else up the sleeve?
No, he speaks for me as well, but there's other factors to it as well. Coaches, managers, they're too one-dimensional to me. And I'm not just talking about in our kind of leagues. I'm talking about Premier League as well. A lot of teams don't have a second plan. There's no plan B. Lotus is an example. They think they're smart. But I've got James again. They come and spy on me. Not a problem. There's one thing with me. When we prepare pre-season, we get our players to play in all kinds of formation. So, James thought I was going to play a certain formation. I fooled him. I didn't. When he came and spied on me, I put my winger on the right wing. My centre forward on the right wing. I put my other left back on the other wing. We just mixed it up a bit. He come and watch me. We just mixed it up. So, it's formation to me. With Ace, I played them 3 times. First time, 4-5-1. Start. Second time, 4-4-1-1. Third time, 4-4-2. And then I'll change it within the game. You should always start. This is the good thing about us as a club, and I'm really proud of my players. We can play any formation. We can play 4-5, 3-5-2 as well. Not a problem. We can do it. And don't look at this guy. This guy can play centre back as well.
Oh, like I
He's
said,
good at centre back as well.
I could talk about him. Me and him will speak off here.
That's how you
because there's things I could say, but I won't say on it.
This is how you become a successful club, and you can conquer teams as well. That's why there's no fear factor for the boys. We just change formation. Different.
And I like that. I mean, and like I've said from before, and like I said, I say it to every team, and I say it to these guys, I say it to everybody out there as well. I expect teams to have a confidence about that. If I think at any time that anyone's being arrogant, I will tell you so. But I love the confidence. I love it because that's what makes for a great game of football. What are we going to look forward to possibly when... I remember sitting there last season and looking forward to the Premier Division last season and talking about that the Lotus was in and everything, and we were saying, this is going to be great, this is mouth-watering. I mean, they've not come up against a reach-out, and reach-out, they're not like a tie, because they're not like this.
I like reach-out, yeah.
All right, there are different footballing styles within the Premier Division. Now Crusaders are going to add to that.
I think with added with Crusaders, it's going to be really intense Premiership because again, it's not going to be decided within. It's not going to be 1 or 2 horse races.
Yeah, there's no way
every team will feel like they can win the Championship, and I think that's why Premiership is getting so intense and so competitive. I'm looking forward to already thinking about it. It's just mind-boggling how competitive it's going to be. The word competitive, I think, is a key word because every team will take points from everyone in that Premiership. We've seen it last season, and I think with Crusader, with their calibre and experience and their confidence and obviously their winning mentality at the moment of time, they will get a lot of points. But I think they will get competition, which they didn't get last season. But I know for a fact a lot of teams will give the competition, although they're confident. But I can see a lot of upsets.
Listen,
it will be a learning curve.
Everyone's going to improve.
Yeah.
I mean, what they've said, everybody will do because everybody's going to look at where they've slipped up. Everybody's going to do the coulda, woulda, shouldas and want to improve. Listen, guys, we could talk for ages. All right, we could. I've got to stop. So thank you very much for coming in. Thanks for giving everybody an insight into who FC Crusaders are. Thanks to all of you out there for watching, and let me just do my little 1 minute of spiel now because, like I said, it's the last show before we disappear. So we've come to the end of the season. We're halfway through a summer season, but I want to say thanks to each and every player, each and every club that makes the ILFL League what it is, because we cannot do this without you. Everybody turns up for football. You guys get out of bed. You do what you do. Sometimes you're late. Sometimes you've forgotten your pads. Sometimes you've forgotten your manners. But you know what? You still turn up and you still play football and you give us something to talk about each and every Monday night on the show. We don't always get it right on the show. We don't always get it right in the league. All right. But this is what it's here for, to provide a platform for you and to give you something to talk about. We've got a TV show for you. How great is that? Let's hope we can do more of it next season. These guys in the Prem, more teams in the First Division, new teams in the Second Division. Don't forget, we've got the Vets League going on. VL7, Vets League 7 is going to start on
July the 14th.
July the 14th for Vets League 7. Mabley Green has got 2 pitches now. We've got a brand new 3G pitch over there for your Veterans League entertainment. So get yourselves down there, register, sign up if you're a Vets team that are not in it yet, because what are you missing? We tell you about it each and every week. You need to be a part of it. I don't have to say any more about it. If you feel like you want to take these boys on, get yourself involved. We are the Inner London Football League. You can be a part of it all. I'd like to thank each and every guest that has turned up on the show, each and every pundit that has turned up, Rash, Nanu, Cameras, Shakil, Hasnat, all of you, the fantastic and amazing technical team behind the screen that you never ever see, and all the guys out there in the football world who tune into the ILFL Soccer Night show. If you see me on the streets, say hello. I'm going off in the summer to watch England win the European Championships. I'll see you in July. Until then, good night.